Hello everybody, this is Elephant Eric. I am back with another video, the National Parks Part 2 ranking list. Now, if you have not seen Part 1, I recommend you see it, because the 19 parks that I have been to that are not listed in this video will be mentioned there, and you will know which parks I have not been to. Now, I rank this based on my experience. I value wildlife, views, along with a couple of other things like activities and campgrounds. So now, we're going to jump right in. Kicking off our list, the top half, number 15 is Haleakala National Park on the island of Maui. This park is excellent. The Haleakala summit area is just beautiful. It looks like a Martian landscape of some sort, and there's also many interesting birds, and the views on the scenic drive are okay. The thing holding this park back is that we did not go to the coastal region with the large waterfalls and rainforests, but this is still a very, very fun park. Number 14 is Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Now this one is an interesting pick because I came here when half the park was closed from either lava or the government shutdown, and I still loved it. There was no lava when I went, however, the Kilauea caldera is a really interesting sight. It's like Yellowstone in a crater, and I really, really enjoyed the hikes that we did. There's so much wildlife as well with the nenes and many lizards, and the fiddlehead flowers are really interesting plants. Number 13 is Sequoia National Park. I came here in spring break of 2019, and I went to many California parks, and this one surprised me. I thought it was mostly just going to be forests, some cool sequoias, maybe a few deer or something. However, this park was so much more. We did a waterfall hike, and it was really, really fun. And what's interesting about this park is that half of it was covered in snow when we came. So we were hiking in like 10 feet of snow on the waterfall hike. But what really brings this park up is the General's Highway, with beautiful views of the mountains around you, along with Morro Rock and many other things. Number 12 is Mount Rainier National Park. Now, I went to this park, not for a full day even, but I didn't see the mountain when I went. But when I took a plane ride to Portland, I flew past Mount Rainier at sunset, and that was a beautiful sight. So it inadvertently brought this park up. And besides the mountain, there's a lot to like about this park. There are forests, extinct geysers, waterfalls, and my favorite trail, Grove of the Patriarchs, through a rainforest-like environment with a nice river and bridge. Number 11, just missing the top 10, sadly, is Death Valley National Park. This park blew me away. Considering it's a barren landscape, there is a lot of diversity going around. There are mountains, sand dunes, some of the mountains had snow on them even, and there's just so many things to like about this park. Badwater Basin is the most popular thing, but the sand dunes are gorgeous. Zabriskie Point is an amazing sight, and the amount of wildlife here is unreal. I saw lizards, wild burros, mice, and a couple thousand monarch butterflies. This park really deserves more credit. Just make sure you visit in like spring or winter, because it is not good to visit in summer. Kicking off the top 10 is Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. I spent about 3 hours in this park, and it was like hailing when we went. However, the things I saw were enough to convince me that this deserves a top 10 spot. There was amazing mountain views, with blue spruce trees everywhere, and amazing wildlife like deer, elk, and coyotes. There's just so much more to this park that I haven't seen yet, and when I revisit this summer, maybe I will get a better experience. Number 9 is the Grand Canyon. I'm very sorry to only put this at number 9, but let me explain why. I have been here twice, and both times I thought the canyon was absolutely gorgeous. Quite possibly the most beautiful thing in the entire country. However, there's not much more to the canyon than the view from the top, from what I've seen so far. I have not gone into the canyon yet, and I have not experienced the North Rim. However, I have seen some cool wildlife here. I've seen ringtails, elk, deer, obviously ravens, and it's a really beautiful park. I just wish I could get a different perspective from it. Here's a bit of a surprise. Number 8 is Channel Islands National Park. This park was in the news recently for a flaming boat. However, that's not what the park really means to me. I absolutely adore this park. I went to only Santa Cruz Island, and there are some really nice views. You can see Arch Rock and Anacapa Lighthouse from Santa Cruz. Scorpion Canyon is a nice lush canyon with many different plant species. And Cavern Point is like the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland. Beautiful sea cliffs, and you can see many seabirds from there. And on that note, the wildlife here is some of the best in the country. It's like the North American Galapagos, featuring Channel Islands fox on the land, which is my favorite of the animals there, pictured in the slide. Whales, dolphins, seals, sea lions, and the island scrub jay, which is a type of bird. It was tough deciding between this park and Channel Islands. However, the number 7 spot is going to Theodore Roosevelt National Park. This is the most underrated park in the system. Nobody likes it, but it's amazing. Take Badlands National Park, a park I'm not super fond of. I do enjoy the views, but I was pretty young when I went. And then add lush canyons and a giant river running through. It's the most unique looking landscape in the entire country, and I really enjoy all of the views I get. However, that's not what really makes the park. I drove into the park at sunset. By the way, that's beautiful. You should definitely do it. And literally, within 10 seconds of entering the park, I saw a bison. The wildlife here is amazing. Bison, wild horses, elk, deer, pronghorn, cattle, and of course, prairie dogs. They're adorable, and if you go to the right place, you will see them. I don't know how one could go to this park without finding any animals. However, the best part of this park is the campground in the South Unit, Cottonwood. It is the best place to stay in the entire national park system, in my opinion. There's beautiful stargazing, a nice forest, and you can walk right up to the Little Missouri River. I saw wild horses at the campground, and everything about this park is great. The only flaw is that there is a lot of animal poop throughout the park. Number 6 is Olympic National Park. I really like this park, but who doesn't? There are many different diverse regions. There are the beaches of the coast, like Ruby Beach, pictured here, and Claylock, where I saw tons of whales and tide pools. There's the Hoh Rainforest, with banana slugs, possibly my favorite animal in the park. And of course my favorite area, Hurricane Ridge, the mountains that are beautiful, where I saw tons of deer, and that was a spectacular sight. I really like Solduck Falls as well. It's a great waterfall. Everything about this park is just so great. Number 5 is Zion National Park in Utah. The best of the Utah parks. This park is just fantastic. The views of the canyon, being beneath the canyon instead of at top like the Grand Canyon, are gorgeous. A lot more trees and river views, more lush than the Grand Canyon. And I saw bighorn sheep and many mule deer. And there's a hidden gem known as the Temple of Sinawava. At the end of the shuttle stops, there's a huge waterfall coming down one of the red canyon rocks. And all of this is really cool, but the thing that makes this park is Angel's Landing. The greatest hike I've ever done. Anywhere. And I've done fun hikes like Uluru. This park has the best hike though. It's gorgeous, with views throughout, and a really interesting layout. This is not even the only part of the park that's great though. The campground is nice, and everything about this park is just perfect. The only thing keeping it back is that I like some other parks better. And one of those parks is the number 4 spot, Glacier National Park. I went here in spring, and that's not the time to go. Everything is closed. I did not get to experience going to the Sum Road. However, I didn't need to. This park might be the most beautiful in the system, with mountains, lakes, waterfalls, obviously, glaciers, and there's some really great animals too. Deer, elk, moose, grizzly bear. I did a plane ride over the park to see a bit more, and I cannot wait to come back here in June 2020, and I will enjoy the experience as much as I can. And who knows, this could become number one. And speaking of number ones, Yosemite National Park is my number 3 spot, but many people put this at number 1, and I totally understand why. I just enjoyed 2 other parks a little more. I came here twice, once in summer, once in spring. Technically late winter, and I highly recommend late winter. Many of the trails are still open, at least the shorter ones like Mist Trail are still open. And there are like 100 more waterfalls at this time because of snowmelt. That's what's special about this park. Waterfalls. I always love waterfalls, and this place has the best of them all. Tunnel View is an iconic site, and one of the greatest sites in America. Possibly top 3 for me, actually. And I really enjoy the hikes. Mist Trail, Bridal Veil Falls, Inspiration Point, they're all excellent. And there's some cool wildlife here too. I've seen 3 coyotes in the park. And the Merced River is an awesome site. And you're inside of a giant granite canyon with different... Oh my god, this park is just so amazing. I really wish I could put it higher. But I'm not putting it higher than Denali National Park. Denali gets the number 2 spot for a few reasons. 1, Denali the mountain is the greatest mountain, possibly the greatest landmark, natural-wise, in the world. It is giant, prominent, amazing. How could one not be blown away by this? And 15 miles of the park road are open to cars. The other 80 or so, you have to take a bus. And the bus ride is the best. Your guide will tell you all about the area, wildlife. You'll stop to see animals, and glaciers, and rivers, and lakes, and other mountains. And the bus ride was the highlight of my trip. And despite only having 15 miles of trailheads to work with, this park really does it well. Savage River and Horseshoe Lake are 2 amazing, beautiful hikes, where it feels like you are the only people on Earth, because this park is never crowded. And another thing that's really great about this park is the amount of wildlife. I saw many caribou, moose, grizzly bears, a red fox, and dull sheep. I also saw some smaller things like beavers, golden eagles, and ptarmigans. Everything about this park is just amazing. But one park has a little more to it, and definitely deserves the number 1 spot. Is Yellowstone National Park. I know it's kind of cliche to put it here, however, I adore this park. I've only been here once, and I was like, really young. Not like really young, but much younger than I am now. And the park is beautiful. There is so much going on, and I'm a sucker for like geothermal features, so this park really is my comfort zone, if you would. The geysers are amazing. Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone is a beautiful sight. Mammoth Hot Springs is stunning. The scenic drives offer amazing views. Lamar and Hayden Valley have the best wildlife in the country, possibly the world. And Yellowstone Lake, Boiling River, there's just so much going on here. It's like Glacier with geothermal features. I think my favorite thing here is probably Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone, but there's so much going on. And my favorite thing that I saw really was, as I was leaving the park, I saw a couple hundred bison along the Yellowstone River. and there were some calves and some mothers, and it was an amazing sight. The wildlife is unreal. Bison, elk, deer, grizzly bears, black bear cubs, I did see those, ospreys. I didn't see any moose or wolf, but who knows, when I come back next summer, I might. I should probably mention that quickly. Next summer, I will be visiting Rocky Mountain, Grand Teton, Yellowstone, Glacier, Crater Lake, Redwood, and Lassen Volcanic. If you have any advice on those parks, please let me know. But this park is my favorite. Great campground, really not that crowded when we went, and we did go in summer. And everything about this park is just the best. There's more to see than any other, and I just love it. I cannot wait to come back here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like or subscribe if you like my video, and comment any future video ideas you have down below. I will be going back to roller coasters. I'm planning a review of Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen, Denmark, but it will only happen if I get to 70 subscribers. So when I get to that number, I will make the video. Thank you.